Hey everybody, so this is our 2023 year-end video, and I'm just going to run through and get everybody caught up. So we haven't posted videos recently, but you're going to figure that out when I kind of explain 2023 to you guys a little bit. And we are going to start posting more videos more often, and the format of the videos are going to change a little bit, so hopefully they're a little more helpful and entertaining and a little bit less like just straight up campground reviews, which wasn't where I wanted the videos to really kind of go to. So anyway, who are we, and where have we been? So we've been camping for about 5 years, and we've been full-timing, meaning we sold our house for about 2.5 years. In 2.5 years, we've been to 109 locations in the United States. There'll be a map on the screen that you can see, and yeah, we've been a lot of places. And the East Coast, we were there a lot because of my wife's job. Now we're unhooked, and now we're just exploring the other areas, which means we're on the West Coast now, obviously. So where were we a year ago? A year ago, we celebrated my birthday, which is early December, in the Keys, and we went to Key West, and we were just in the Florida Keys for 2 weeks, having a whole lot of fun. And then we went up to the Panhandle, and we did New Year's and our snowbird in Florida. Snowbird term, just so you guys know that. That term means it's where you kind of hide from the bad weather. So you go somewhere warm usually, and normally you spend like December to March there roughly, and that's what we do. We do December to March is where we snowbird, and the big kind of locations to snowbird at are going to be like San Diego, Lake Havasu, Phoenix, Florida, places that are like very, very hot basically is where you want to go. So then you have a very mild winter. So anyway, last year was Florida. That's what we did. And at the beginning of the year, we had a scheduled appointment with Alliance, which is our manufacturer of our camper, to get the camper worked on. We had a sidewall crack. So we basically booked our schedule around the factory to get into the factory appointment the first part of the year. And then after that, we just kind of did what we wanted, obviously. We went from Florida up to Nashville, up to Louisville, up to Elkhart, Indiana. And we just did like weekends here, getting up there. And what we learned was Nashville is really, really cool. It was actually one of the highlights of the year, believe it or not, even though we only had one night out in Nashville. So you never know. There's all these like little hidden gems, and most people, maybe other people knew that Nashville is super cool. I thought New Orleans was going to be super cool, but Nashville just like blows it out of the water. It was super, super cool. So after we got done with the factory stuff, we went to Moride, and we had hydraulic brakes added to the camper, which are like disc brakes to improve the braking capability. And we had a catastrophic problem at Moride where one of the circuits actually blew in our camper, and the manufacturer was so kind, they actually sent a tech out from the factory over to Moride to fix the circuit problem on the camper, which is super, super cool. And then we moved on. We did develop a couple other problems that we discovered kind of afterwards. So the tip that I would give anybody is if they're going to go get something serviced, and it's something like, let's say it's like even fairly major, they probably should plan their route around hanging out near where they had it serviced at for like a week. Don't just like immediately like leave like we did. That was bad planning on our part. That way you have all the opportunity to kind of go back and get whatever you need touched up. So that big suggestion to everybody from now on, that's what we're going to do. If we ever get any major service done, we're going to just chill our jets near the location, probably in Elkhart, for an extra week, just so you don't feel rushed and you have all the time in the world to get everything all ironed out. So anyway, where to from there? From there, we jumped on Route 66, and we wanted to go to the West Coast because at that time we did not have that much West Coast stuff that we had done other than flying out there for trips. We didn't have that much camping stuff. To get to the West Coast, we went through St. Louis and saw the Arch. We went through Oklahoma City, which apparently there's nothing to do in Oklahoma City, if you didn't know that. Roswell, which like that was on my bucket list, like humongous checkbox that we went to Roswell, but it actually felt a little bit like a disappointment. It just felt like a little kind of tourist trap in the desert. But I would say go to Roswell anyway, just so you can get the checkbox if you haven't done Roswell. Kind of neat. Albuquerque, Phoenix, Lake Havasu to Las Vegas. Yeah, that's lots of stuff, right? So we went through all of that, and then we got to Las Vegas. Once we got to Las Vegas, that's where kind of things changed a little bit. So we discovered when we were in Las Vegas, or like on the way to Las Vegas, that two of my wife's family members had cancer, which is not like too cool, and they're in Las Vegas. So we spent a significant amount of time in Las Vegas to deal with like family stuff, basically. And that's basically like when the video stopped. Pretty obvious, right? So anyway, so we spent a lot of time there. And the good thing about having an RV and having like a house on wheels is you can get around. That's really cool, right? So, you know, if you have a family issue, you can take your camper to where the family is and you can be with them. So that's really, really important, cool. And they're both in remission. Everything's good now. So like, I don't want to be stressing anybody out or whatever. Everything is cool now. They went through the treatments and stuff. So all that's all good. While we were in Las Vegas, we were there for so long. We actually did small little day trips and weekend trips to other places because we were getting sick of being in Las Vegas because we were there for so many months. So we did a week trip to Williams, Arizona, which I think was like the last video that I posted of me river rafting in Williams. I actually did a campground review while I was there, but I never like posted the video. Maybe I'll post a video next week or something for you guys. But anyway, we did it almost felt like we were part-time because we had spent so much time like in that one single location. But anyway, we did a little jaunt out to Williams. And I remember Kimberly, she was telling me, she's like, this is too much tourist stuff. We were there just like for like 1 week, and almost every single day I had different things lined up. We went to the Grand Canyon one day, went to downtown Williams, which is like Route 66 heaven if you've never been to Williams. Williams is one of the towns like closest to the Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon Railroad is there, for instance. Grand Canyon KOA is there. That's just kind of like Grand Canyon Central. We went to Flagstaff, which is where Kimberly is from. We went to like some of her favorite restaurants. We saw a bunch of family like in Williams. We saw a bunch of family in Flagstaff, and we went down to Sedona. So it was like just tours. We were just trying to get it all out of us since we'd spent so much time in Las Vegas. And then we went back to Las Vegas. Right. So that's how it is, right? You take care of family. Family's important. So after Las Vegas, we had spent so much time there. We normally do our route planning, and I'll do like a route planning video for you guys where we schedule everything like a year out and we know like where we're going, kind of like type thing. However, we'd gotten so far off track, I basically had to call all the places and just cancel the whole year. So that was a little disheartening, having to call campground after campground after campground, because you know, when you move every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, it's a lot of campgrounds to call. So I had to call all those damn campgrounds, but they all were so generous. As soon as you say the word cancer, like bam, they're like money back, like no charge, like everything. So campgrounds are wonderful. I don't think there was a single one that I dealt with that was a difficulty or pain or anything. They're all awesome campgrounds and understanding, super cool. Got all our money back for being there for getting all that kind of stuff moved around and changed and stuff. So then Kimberly's birthday came along, and we always try to go somewhere cool for our birthdays. Like that's just one of our things. Like we always like when we plan the route out, it's like, where are we going to be for our birthday, and can we like massage it a little bit to be somewhere cool? And you know, when you're in the same place for like 3 months or whatever, like you're kind of like, this isn't feeling cool anymore, right? I know it's Las Vegas, right? So we went to San Diego for her birthday. It's right nearby, and we were still kind of in close proximity to the family. We went to San Diego for her birthday, and she wanted to do all the tourist stuff. So we did the zoo, and we did the SeaWorld, and just like kind of touristy everything. And that was like really cool. And unfortunately, while we were in Las Vegas, Kimberly had a health problem also. So basically we scheduled an appointment, and we actually went to the Mayo Clinic to get her checked out in Arizona. So basically we went from San Diego to Phoenix so she could go to the doctor, because we did not care for the doctors in Las Vegas. It just, I don't know. My recommendation to you is if you're in Las Vegas and you have a major health problem, go to Phoenix. Like just do it, okay? Like there's so many good doctors in Phoenix. You don't really want to stick around this place. So anyway, so we went to Phoenix, And when we were in Phoenix, we stayed in, this is like September, August, like worst time to go to Phoenix, like when it's like 120 degrees outside. Yeah, terrible, right? And we had like the metal on the windows and everything to try to keep the heat down. Same in Las Vegas, like super, super dumb hot. When we went to Phoenix, we actually stayed in Payson. If you've never heard of that before, look it up. Payson is the mountains that are like maybe an hour from Phoenix, and it's like way, way cooler in Payson. So we basically stayed in Payson, and then we took the camper down to Phoenix just for one day, so we would be near the hospital for the testing or whatever. And then we moved on. And then when we moved on and we left Phoenix, we went to Kingman for a wedding. And at that point, basically with a diagnosis from Kimberly, everything was good there also. And we decided at that point it was safe to try to get back on the road and try to salvage at least maybe like the last couple months of the year. So we basically did a big loop through the upper part of the United States. And I'm just going to read to you quickly the route and some of the goodness. I have this all written down because like there's so much, right? We went to Camp Verde, Arizona, through Payson, Arizona. So we went to Payson twice. The reason why we went to Payson twice is because apparently the oldest rodeo in the United States is in Payson, and we couldn't reserve a campsite anywhere near it during the rodeo. So we had to like leave it and go to Phoenix and then find somewhere to go, and then we went back to it. So anyway, we went to Payson, and then we went to Moab. Moab is basically the Jeep capital of the world, I think, or one of them. It has to be like top 5 locations for taking Jeeps and side-by-sides and stuff. Like, it is so awesome in Moab. We did Hell's Revenge while we were in Moab, and we did it on side-by-sides. It's just, the weather was like so perfect. I'm like, I need to have like more airflow, you know, and be outside. So we did Hell's Revenge on a side-by-side. Super, super cool, super fun. Anybody can do it. Like literally, like you're just sitting there with a steering wheel kind of driving around. There's a guy on a radio kind of telling you what to do, you know, gas it here, gas it there. And, you know, it was so fun. Nobody got stuck. Nobody had any problems. And there was even novices out there that didn't have a lot of, they didn't seem like they had a whole lot of, you know, crazy background and taking Jeeps out and stuff. So anyway, so we got done with the Moab, and I also did the Colorado River, a second river rafting trip, not the one that I posted, a different one, when we were in Moab too. Grand Junction, that's Colorado, to Wyoming, to Yellowstone, and we spent a couple weeks in Yellowstone. However, unfortunately, we were in Wyoming when we stayed in Yellowstone. Even though we went into Montana to go to Yellowstone, we didn't actually camp in Montana, so we didn't get our Montana sticker. I kind of wish we had spent just at least one night in Montana. Then we went to Portland, Oregon, and in Portland we actually took a trip out to Castle Rock, which is the Goonies Rock, if you have seen the movie Goonies. And then we went to Brookings, Oregon, which is the bottom of Oregon, and we found out that the temperature range in Brookings, Oregon is actually similar to San Diego, but it rains more, right? And it's 3 hours from any hospital or something like that. That's a big downfall of Brookings. But it was kind of cool. We stayed at Brookings, and the cool thing with Brookings is we were actually like 20 feet from the ocean. So like there was like waves crashing and stuff that you could hear all the time, like in the camper. Super cool. Beachfront. And the other thing I would say when you're in that area is there is a Redwood Highway. It's like the 299 and 199. I'm not really sure. Anyway, don't take the camper on it. We did. Don't take the camper on it. Okay, the Redwood National Highway thing. Avoid it. Go a different way. That was terrible. We then went down to Redding to get to Modesto to have Thanksgiving with my mom. And then we went to San Diego again, but this time it was for my birthday, and that was actually planned, so Kimberly just kind of like one-upped me. But when we went to San Diego the second time, we actually went there, and it was different. So what was different is we were at Campland, which is Mission Bay, Pacific Beach. The other time we went to San Diego, we were in Chula Vista at a Sun Outdoors. Now, just to kind of like make the terms a little bit easier, the Sun Outdoors is super, super posh and nice, but it's actually like in a ghetto. That's what Chula Vista is, and I don't want to talk down too much about it. When we stayed at Campland is an old established campground that's been there forever, but it's not like all like super, super fancy like Sun Outdoors, but it's located in Mission Bay on Pacific Beach, which is like the snooty area of San Diego. So you actually felt super, super comfortable just like walking out of the resort or going to a local restaurant. And everything was like 5 minutes away or 10 minutes away outside of like Home Depot. If you wanted to go to Home Depot, it was like 15 minutes away. But everything was super convenient and you didn't feel like you had this kind of ghetto encroaching on you. So it was super, super cool to just take like an Uber out to go to some bar and then like pop back. And the birthday kind of theme was slightly different than Kimberly's. Kimberly's theme was like tourist traps. Not to talk, it's cool, whatever, SeaWorld and the zoo. Mine was speakeasies. And so we were going into all these like little hidden bars and stuff. It was super, super cool. Just a different type of coolness. And Campland, super, super cool. That would be the campground I'd recommend for you to go to if you decide to go to San Diego. And then after Campland, we basically went up to Las Vegas for Christmas with her family. So this is like Mead behind me, obviously. And we are currently in Boulder, and that's where we're going to spend New Year's, and then we're going to move on and get to our snowbird location.